Story 1: The Haunting of Annabel's Curse. Once upon a time, in a small, forgotten village tucked deep within the woods, there stood an ancient mansion shrouded in mystery and darkness. This mansion belonged to the reclusive and wealthy Van Holt family, who were known for their bizarre obsession with the occult and the paranormal. Legends whispered of their eerie collection of cursed artifacts that adorned the mansion's walls, but one item stood out among the rest: a sinister-looking doll named Annabel. Annabel was no ordinary doll. She was handcrafted from blackened wood, her eyes gleaming with an unnatural crimson hue, and her stitched lips seemed to curl into a malevolent grin. The locals believed that Annabel was cursed, carrying the tormented souls of those who had dared to cross the Van Holt family. As the sun dipped behind the horizon and darkness blanketed the village, strange occurrences began to unfold. People whispered of hearing mournful cries echoing from within the mansion, and a chilling presence that permeated the air. Those who dared to venture close to the mansion claimed to see glimpses of a shadowy figure peering from behind the dusty windows, and an eerie sense of being watched crept over them. The first death attributed to Annabel's curse was that of a young girl named Emily, who had been playing with her friends near the mansion. Curiosity got the best of her, and she decided to approach the foreboding structure. Her friends begged her not to go, but she laughed off their warnings. However, Emily never returned from her ill-fated excursion. The villagers found her lifeless body the next morning, lying at the mansion's front gate. Her face was frozen in an expression of terror. Rumors began to spread like wildfire throughout the village. The curse of Annabel was real, they said, and it thirsted for more souls. Fear gripped the hearts of the villagers, but the allure of wealth and the mystery surrounding the mansion tempted some daring souls to try their luck. Among them was a brave and ambitious man named Samuel. Samuel was a notorious treasure hunter with an unquenchable thirst for riches and fame. He was drawn to tales of the cursed doll, believing that possessing such an object would make him the envy of every adventurer. Dismissing the warnings of the superstitious villagers, Samuel set out to claim the cursed doll for himself. Under the cloak of night, he made his way to the Van Holt mansion, his heart pounding in anticipation. Despite the chilling wind and the creaking of the old house, Samuel pressed forward, driven by his desire for riches. He reached the grand entrance, which groaned open eerily on its own, as if beckoning him inside. With every step, the air seemed to thicken, and a suffocating dread settled over Samuel. But he shook off the feeling, reminding himself that he was a man of reason and logic. He searched the mansion room by room, his lantern casting flickering shadows on the walls. Yet, Annabel remained elusive, hiding in the shadows like a malevolent specter. As he explored the attic, Samuel stumbled upon an old journal left behind by the last Van Holt descendant. The journal spoke of the doll's dark origins and the ritual that had cursed it. Samuel's pulse quickened with excitement, convinced that he was close to uncovering the coveted secrets. Finally, in the darkest corner of the attic, Samuel discovered Annabel, perched atop a dusty chest. She seemed to glare at him, her malevolence palpable. Ignoring the uneasy feeling gnawing at his gut, Samuel reached out to seize the cursed doll. But as soon as his fingers brushed against the doll's wooden form, a sinister force surged through him. He felt a searing pain in his chest, as if an invisible hand was squeezing the life out of him. Gasping for breath, he dropped the doll, stumbling backward in agony. The curse had taken hold of him, its grasp tightening with every heartbeat. Desperate and terrified, Samuel tried to flee the mansion, but his strength waned with each step. In the end, Samuel's lifeless body joined the growing list of victims claimed by Annabel's curse. As dawn broke over the village, the news of his death spread like wildfire. Fear and sorrow blanketed the village as they realized that the curse of Annabel was all too real. But the sinister tale of Annabel's curse was far from over. The malevolent doll's thirst for souls was far from quenched, and the village would soon face an unimaginable nightmare beyond their darkest